And now for the first opening statement by Senator John F. Kennedy.
Smith, Nixon. In the election of 1860, Abraham Lincoln said the question was whether this nation could exist half slave or half free. In the election of 1960, and with the world around us, the question is whether the world will exist half slave or half free, whether it will move in the direction of freedom, in the direction of the road that we are taking, or whether it will move in the direction of slavery. I think it will depend in great measure upon what we do here in the United States, that we build, on the kind of strength that we maintain. We discussed tonight domestic issues, but I would not want that to be any implication to be given that this does not involve directly our struggle with Mr. Khrushchev for survival. Mr. Khrushchev is in New York, and he maintains the communist offensive throughout the world because of the productive power of the Soviet Union itself. The Chinese communists have always had a large population, but they are important and dangerous now because they are mounting a major effort within their own country. The kind of country we have here, the kind of society we have, the kind of strength we build in the United States will be the defense of freedom. If we do well here, if we meet our obligations, if we're moving ahead, then I think freedom will be secure around the world. If we fail, then freedom fails. Therefore, I think the question before the American people is, are we doing as much as we can do? Are we as strong as we should be? Are we as strong as we must be if we're going to maintain our independence? And if we're going to maintain and hold out the hand of friendship to those who look to us for assistance, to those who look to us for survival? I should make it very clear that I do not think we're doing enough, that I am not satisfied as an American with the progress that we're making. This is a great country, but I think it could be a greater country. And this is a powerful country, but I think it could be a more powerful country. I'm not satisfied to have 50% of our steel mill capacity unused. I'm not satisfied when the United States had last year the lowest rate of economic growth of any major industrialized society in the world, because economic growth means strength and vitality. It means we're able to sustain our defenses. It means we're able to meet our commitments abroad. I'm not satisfied when we have over $9 billion worth of food, some of it rotting, even though there is a hungry world, and even though 4 million Americans wait every month for a food package from the government, which averages 5 cents a day per individual. I saw cases in West Virginia, here in the United States, where children took home part of their school lunch in order to feed their families, because I don't think we're meeting our obligations towards these Americans. I'm not satisfied when the Soviet Union is turning out twice as many scientists and engineers as we are. I'm not satisfied when many of our teachers are inadequately paid, or when our children go to school part-time shifts. I think we should have an educational system second to none. I'm not satisfied when I see men like Jimmy Hoffa in charge of the largest union in the United States, still free. I'm not satisfied when we are failing to develop the natural resources of the United States to the fullest. Here in the United States, which developed the Tennessee Valley, and which built the Grand Coulee and the other dams in the northwest United States, at the present rate of hydropower production, and that is the hallmark of an industrialized society, the Soviet Union by 1975 will be producing more power than we are. These are all the things, I think, in this country that can make our society strong or can mean that it stands still. I'm not satisfied until every American enjoys his full constitutional rights. If a Negro baby is born, and this is true also of Puerto Ricans and Mexicans in some of our cities, he has about 1/2 as much chance to get through high school as a white baby. He has 1/3 as much chance to get through college as a white student. He has about 1/3 as much chance to be a professional man, about 1/2 as much chance to own a house. He has about 4 times as much chance that he'll be out of work in his life as the white baby. I think we can do better. I don't want the talents of any American to go to waste. I know that there are those who say that we want to turn everything over to the government. I don't at all. I want the individuals to meet their responsibilities. And I want the states to meet their responsibilities. But I think there is also a national responsibility. The argument has been used against every piece of social legislation in the last 25 years. The people of the United States individually could not have developed the Tennessee Valley. Collectively, they could have. A cotton farmer in Georgia, or a peanut farmer, or a dairy farmer in Wisconsin or Minnesota, he cannot protect himself against the forces of supply and demand in the marketplace, but working together in effective governmental programs, he can do so. 17 million Americans who live over 65 on an average Social Security check of about $78 a month. They're not able to sustain themselves individually, but they can sustain themselves through the Social Security system. I don't believe in big government, but I believe in effective governmental action. And I think that's the only way that the United States is going to maintain its freedom. It's the only way that we're going to move ahead. I think we can do a better job. I think we're going to have to do a better job if we are going to meet the responsibilities which time and events have placed upon us. We cannot turn the job over to anyone else. If the United States fails, then the whole cause of freedom fails. And I think it depends in great measure on what we do here in this country. The reason Franklin Roosevelt was a good neighbor in Latin America was because he was a good neighbor in the United States. Because they felt that the American society was moving again. I want us to recapture that image. I want people in Latin America and Africa and Asia to start to look to America, to see how we're doing things, to wonder what the President of the United States is doing, and not to look at Khrushchev or look at the Chinese communists. That is the obligation upon our generation. In 1933, Franklin Roosevelt said in his inaugural that this generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. I think our generation of Americans has the same rendezvous. The question now is, can freedom be maintained under the most severe attack it has ever known? I think it can be. And I think in the final analysis, it depends upon what we do here. I think it's time America started moving again.
Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. Happy Country Sunday for all our people then across the 13 states. All man a place over day. Happy Country Sunday. Today, at the beginning of a new week. Today, we move towards the end of the month. At the beginning of a new time, 3 weeks of effective, collective resistance. 3 weeks of a demonstration of who will be as Ambazonians, what determination, what readiness for take back our country. That time, it never ever sweet. That time never ever tastes so good. That time never ever feels so good. That time never ever be so important than this very moment, than this very day. That time never ever comes so near, will never ever be so close than this moment. The international community be totally surprised. The international system be stunned. The world's community They did look at the Ambazonian people. It did almost be like jealousy. They did look at we with such level of admiration. They did admire we. They did look at we with pride. Say, now which kind of people than this? We don't ever see with the kind of people then. These people, they really mean that they are freedom when they fight them. And they need to do them anyhow. They did do them structurally. They did do them intelligently. They did do them in a smart way. They did do them in the most effective way. See how they don't put Cameroon for a place. See how they don't make Pobia don't run Cameroon. These people don't make Pobia 2 weeks to the most consequential election for their country. The man says self run his own country. Run for go campaign for himself. How you go get an election? 3 weeks into that election, you run your own country. You leave your own campaign. Chai! These Ambazonian people, they're really strong. The world they look at we like, oh my God. The God will make these people them a different God. Now which kind chop these people that they chop them? Now which kind air these people that they breathe for that place where they call Ambazonia? Then they go for internet. Chaka, 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 chaka. They go check. Who be that people them? Now how the man reach for this kind of place? Where today Cameroon of it breathe. Where the entire Cameroon political apparatus, it don't be completely decimated. The entire structure of government for Cameroon, nobody know what to do anymore. Everybody is confused. They don't run out of options. When you see beer, the run, when none of you need to chase it, you know how much power we, the Ambazonia people, get them. You know how much we don't impact La République. You know how we don't twist them, squeeze them, jam them, hold them for canals, press them for neck. Now the cost of food for Cameroon, it be 3 times higher. The cost of 1 cup gari, 1 cup beans, tomatoes, pepper, 2 planty, 3 planty, 5 planty, 1 bunch planty, the cost. Most Camerooners, and now that they ask them, why this war get for continue for Ambazonia? Why we get for the suffer? Because Paul Biya won a war. Instead for solve problems. Instead for enter negotiation. Why we the people of Cameroon, we get for the suffer? Because Atanganji won war. Because Atanganji won proves it be something. Why we the people of Cameroon get for the suffer? Because the CPDM elites, as in they call them for Anglophone, they want continue for profit from the war. They want continue for make more money from the war. Because before the war, They don't get nothing for do. They don't get no market for selling for Mr. Bia. They don't get no mission for selling for Mr. Bia. They don't get no stories for can't tell Mr. Bia. They don't feel show their relevance to Mr. Bia. The war give them a purpose for existence. Mr. Bia in war, he give Cameroon occupation a purpose for fight for something. Even if that thing be destructive. Even if that thing be negative. Even if that same thing it turn for destroy the Cameroon state. But at least now they get a story to tell. At least now they get for be for news headlines. Even if now that same war it make the state of Cameroon enough to ever develop for the next 100 years. Because of the amount of money and money and money and money and money where they don't borrow from every part of the globe and from every international banking institution. And nobody even know how much money they don't borrow. Themselves they don't know how much money they don't borrow. Even their own National Treasury and Ministry of Finance enough to tell the state how much today Cameroon owe the international financial institutions. You don't know how much money they owe the IMF. They don't know how much money they owe the World Bank, but they only pay interest. This is who will be. When you touch the wrong people at the wrong time, you get the taste of the consequences. Over the last 3 weeks, we don't produce and create and demonstrate miracles, wonders, phenomenon, skaboosh, skabash. We don't prove things in way no man never ever see them. If only Cameroon fit tell your own people the truth as to how this thing it don't chakara that country. Now the country don't know front and back. The last 3 weeks. Can't see phone call them with the egg of city getter. Canada they call, Germany they call, UK they call, Spain they call, everybody they call, Switzerland they call. I said, now wait till they do that people them now. Now wait till they do that people them. The whole world it be captivated. Political scientists, they did now study the Ambazonia resistance strategy. Some of the top political scientists for the world, for Africa, they did now study Ambazonia. The methods where we don't adopt them as how to fight modern day liberation wars and how to demand human rights. How forget human rights. How forget the world's attention to people that don't forget them. They did now study them. For the last 3 years, 4 Ambazonians where did they do their doctorate program. When did they do their final paper submission for their thesis. Now me, Lucas Asu, una pikin, They don't contact me for do interview with me. For the strategies that we don't use them. For use them for their paper. 3 Ambazonian PhD students. One they do na communication, the other 2 they do na human rights. The other one they do na human rights, and the other one they do na international foreign relations. 3 of them. This is who will be. This is how far we don't come. And waiting would do it be now a new model. The way we would communicate, the way we would frame communication, the way we would design new methods of communication. Because it evolve and change all the time. Now, another one, the contact we, if we help them on the power of social media in conflicts. You don't come too far. You don't come too far than anything where you be even imagining. You not be ever know say you go reach for this place. No Ambazonia, not be ever imagine say the Ambazonia people will reach for this place. The place we don't reach, it be beyond even what Dr. Cho be thinking at this moment. It be beyond what even Sise Kwayokabe be thinking so will be here at this moment. They tell you say it will be a very long struggle. Now they don't end up for be a very short struggle. We want to congratulate Ground Zero. We want to thank our mommy them. We want to thank our papa them. We want to thank our picking them. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank especially our businessmen and women for the collective sacrifice. And I think this way, President Kennedy, we talk away for introduction for the introduction of this program. I think this will be terrible. Collective efforts. They will solve every problem. Collective resistance. It don't do wonders. Now, what you go do? When you don't achieve victory, what else you need for doing? When you don't achieve these kind breakthroughs, what will be your next step? And it's in that way President Kennedy will ask we. It be enough for reach for this kind of place. And then you fold your hand and you shidon, you relax. You say, ah. President Kennedy say no. President Kennedy say it not be enough for what we don't do. Because we never finish the work. Just because we don't paralyze La République. Just because we don't weaken La République. Just because we don't decimate La République. Just because we don't scatterize La République. Just because we don't twist German and German twist La République. Just because we don't knock and bend La République. it not mean say we don't reach and achieve the ultimate goal. It bring we only closer to the overall victory. That overall victory is sent Cameroon to a panic mode. Una know what Cameroon don't do? The Cameroon colonial government, the same CPDM party, and Atanganji, where they talk say there is no problem in Ambazonia. Those same people, after 3 weeks, they don't come out. They go write fake press release and give for this guy that they call it Kum. I think now Leonard or Bernard. This guy where now delete my media prime TV. They carry and go send them for you. Say the Ambazonian people, they actually call we Ambazonians. They not call we separatists anymore. They say the Ambazonian people and the political opposition where they push for one candidate. And Ambazonian fighters, they not call them anymore terrorists. Now for Cameroon official document, they did now call Ambazonian fighters and call we Ambazonian people. Say the Ambazonian people and Ambazonian fighters and the Ambazonian leadership, they don't reach a consensual understanding. Say on the 11th and on the 12th, lockdown no go be. Now so, La République, they go make fake document. They put them, say that the thing this way Ambazonia don't talk. And Ambazonia don't talk, say, they go, on that day, they go vote na Isa Chiroma. This one, now waiting La République government, the right arm, carry them give for their media, their own media houses. May they put them for outside because of the effectiveness of Ambazonian 3 weeks collective resistance lockdown. It make La République the start for smoke banger. It make the truth a start for come out. Deliverance don't enter for La République. Deliverance, it don't enter for La République. The truth they don't hide them. The truth they don't deny them. Deliverance, the Ambazonian liberation deliverance, it don't enter La République. La République don't hide. La République now get for start for speak the reality as it is. The reality of their defeat. The reality of Ambazonian rise. The reality of Ambazonia authority, Ambazonian control, Ambazonia dominance. The reality of the power of the ghost. So they get for now resort into public, humiliating propaganda. Ambazonia Governing Council, it don't put out an official statement and as a response to Cameroon. Make we read that statement. We come up for the Ambazonia Governing Council. The statement will come out for the office of the Secretary General of Ambazonia Governing Council. It talks about press briefings and statement. September 29, 2025. Statement on attempts by Cameroon to manipulate public opinion in Ambazonia with regards to the October 12th sham elections. The Ambazonia Governing Council has taken note of the attempt by Cameroon out of desperation to manipulate the Ambazonian people as part of as part of their kangaroo electoral process. We also note that this desperation and subtle way to admit defeat, we are now rightly called Ambazonians. We understand Cameroon's desperation, given the resounding success of the current ongoing lockdowns. The Ambazonia Governing Council wishes to emphasize to the Ambazonian people that the hitherto announced lockdown days remain in place and that the special lockdown in weekend of October 11 and 12 and Monday the 13th remain in full force and will be reinforced. The Ambazonia Governing Council continue to appreciate and thank the Ambazonians across the entire territory for their steadfastness, resilience, especially during this important lockdown period, which delivered a crushing blow to Cameroon. As the vanguard organization of Ambazonia liberation, we want to reiterate, Ambazonia is not part of Cameroon and therefore will not be participating in any shape or form in the sham elections in Cameroon. All Ambazonians across the entire territory are therefore reminded that they are required to stay away from any processes and activities relating to Cameroon's so-called elections. That one, now a statement will come out for the office of the Secretary General of Ambazonia Governing Council, Obadia Mua. You could get back to our program. The statement we don't read them for now. Now the official response to Cameroon, their propaganda. Make no one not be deceived. Make no one not be manipulated. The Cameroon colonial elections, they don't get any bearing for your life. They don't get any bearing to the conflict. They don't get any bearing to your future. The only effect with this election, you go get them to Cameroon itself. Now when they decide, when the Cameroonese people then, by themselves, they decide to take their future into their own hands. When they decide, say they want change, when they decide, say they want freedom, when they decide, say they want peace, when they decide, say they want security, when they decide, say they want stability, and when then they decide, say they want a better system of government, where it go fit, provide the better quality of life. It will create opportunities for the Cameroonese people and give them the kind dignity with them to the need. The only impact, if any, of any election, I say there will be change in Cameroon, if any. The international community not believe that. If there will be any change in Cameroon, and the Cameroonese people then, if you choose another person, put them for that place, and get a negotiated settlement with the Ambazonian people then. That's all. At this moment, Ambazonia remain in charge, Ambazonia remain in control, and were focused to drag Cameroon into the gutter, force Cameroon for become a gutter state, a gutter country. That focus, it go intensify, it no go reduce. Were focus for weaken Cameroon to a point where it go scatter, it go break into different parts. That focus remains. That means the first phase of the lockdown don't end. 3 weeks, collective sacrifice, collective efforts. Now, it don't take you to a place Where now you get control, now you get power, now you get authority. That is the fruits of sacrifice, of collective sacrifice. We know Ambazonia not be killed by this effort. By the way, collective resistance, no Ambazonia be killed through this effort. Except now people the way they want their longer throat. Now people they know say now lockdown, and then they decide say they want to go do their transport business. Except now people they decide for go join CPDM. Except now people they decide for work with the Cameroon military, for disobey the laws, put themselves into a high risky situation. Because the goal for this lockdown now for keep every Ambazonian safe. Because you know say they don't deploy extra troops, extra terrorists, extra kidnappers. We know that's why they be call them now a collective protective lockdown for keep the Ambazonian people them safe. That 3 weeks don't come, it don't reach, and we don't achieve, we don't score a big victory. Now, it don't give the Ambazonian people them the political victory, the diplomatic victory, where they need now for seal Cameroon a fate. That's why you see all these phone calls that they come in, because these people, they're like, okay, it's over. The international community said, well, it's now over. These people have no more control. We saw it. We watched it. They've lost it. They don't get any more control. Cameroon don't lost every single control will be over. Because how you fit fight 8 million ghosts? No man of you answer that question. Now how many thousands of troops you go fight them? For go door to door to door to door to door, move everybody for the house, force them to come back for the streets. It not go happen. This is the power and brilliance of collective resistance without any bloodshed. So what people then, they get from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For go farm, carry as much chop for farm as possible. Make everybody carry as much chop for farm as possible. Now harvesting season this for corn. Now harvesting season this for cocoa. Now harvesting season this for tomatoes. Now harvesting season this for pepper. Now harvesting season this for everything. So there is nyafu, 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 nyafu. Chop the Ambazonia, nyafu, 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 nyafu. Abundance upon abundance upon abundance upon abundance of chop. It is Ambazonia. Every family, if you just go for backside, so you just move cocoa. Every family, every Ambazonian family, it get chop. So chop plenty. Go farm, harvest as much chop as possible. Una pack them for house. Now the final end this of La Republique, and we must give them that final end. Now the final bullet this, we get for put them for Tanganji and La Republique in terms of political weakening, in terms of economic obliteration, in terms of social characterization. All right? At the final moment, this. It come from the 2nd of October to October 13. The collective spirit, the collective action, the peaceful, non-violent, collective action, it go deliver the final nail to the coffin of Cameroon's occupation of Ambazonia. We must squeeze these people then until they bow, and that time come. They must understand who Ambazonia they be, what you stand for, what you want them, what people must be free. I will go for do that last push. From the 2nd of October, the 1st of October, if you like to stay for your house, you stay for your house. We will believe so many people they stay for their house to be safe. That one they have option. You want to stay for your house, you want to go for the street for jubilate, that one I use yourself sabi. Make sure say you take the risky security environment into consideration. We will believe so many people they stay for their house, they celebrate safely in their own house. But if you want to come out you for outside, you carry a radio, put on for your head. You go celebrate for street. That one I use sabi. Celebrate for any way, as long as you be safe, you be secure. Celebrate for your own way. Celebrate for your own way. Now all that, as long as you know your surroundings. From the 2nd of October, from 6 o'clock on the 2nd of October, the lockdown, no exception. Weekend, na lockdown. Saturday and Sunday, na lockdown. The weekend of the election, the Saturday and the Sunday, na lockdown. The entire territory, it be under total papa water, mami water, juju water, system water, mami water, juju water, mami water water, mami water on top mami water, na mami water, papa water, mami water, mami water, mami water, and mami water goes down. This one now, na the last fight. All we must give our all. Every town, every community, na total lockdown. Not only the highways. My warn what people then. Stay safe. Now for your own protection. The enemy be very desperate. They go deploy extra troops again by tonight. From Manfe, they go start from Manfe. They go deploy extra troops for Victoria. They go deploy extra troops for Boya. They go deploy extra troops for Kumba. For all the places where they call and say hot spots. They go send extra troops for Manfe, extra troops for Kumba, extra troops for Victoria, or as they call it, Nimbe. They go send extra troops for Boya. It go back. It go back for Boya. The number of troops will